Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Well, guys, this is travel video, okay? But in this video, I'm going to give you some wonderful tips and techniques to deal with your IELTS listening test. All right? Yes, exactly. Now, IELTS listening is really a nightmare for those students who are weak in English, especially the students who've got Hindi medium, Punjabi medium, Urdu medium background, and the students who studied in government schools, and those who did not pay attention to their English when they were students like me. Even I did not pay attention to my English when I was a student, and I learned it afterwards. Okay, so this is for those candidates actually. Now, the thing is, first of all, you should determine what is your target band score, and let me tell you that decision should be a realistic decision. Let me tell you, if you are intermediate level student and you are looking for 8,777 or even 8.5 in IELTS listening, that's not going to be realistic if you've got weak English. Yes, if your English is good enough, you understand different accents of English, then you can even go for that, right? And let me tell you another thing, even it takes time to develop your skills in language, but there are certain restrictions to that as well. Now, it's not possible that you say I'm at band score 5.5. After 2 months preparation, I would be able to reach band score 7 or 8 or even 9. That's not possible, guys. Okay, let me just tell you. So it's not a couple of months extra will bring you couple of bands extra. This is just something wrong about IELTS. Usually students ask me, well, if we take your classes for 1 month, can we get 6 band? If I answer yes, then they say, well, if we take for 1 more month, can we get 7 band? And I said, after 3 months, you will reach 9 band above, huh? So that's not right. Let me tell you, your language skills and the band score that you may reach, that has a limitation. I'm using the word limitation. You cannot go beyond that, right? There is a limitation to that. Now, let's see, once you determine that, okay, your target band is 6, so you need 23 correct answers plus 3 more answers you are going to add. If your target band is like 6.5 in listening, then you can just do, okay, 26 correct answers will give you 6.5, but you should target 28, 29 correct answers. So whatever your target is, you should make at least 2 to 3 questions extra, because sometimes in actual IELTS exam, the test can be difficult, the test can be tricky, or it can be something like where you would not be very comfortable. So therefore you need to do that, one thing. Second, when you practice, you should watch your steps. I would call this technique, you should watch your steps. So whenever you do listening, you should watch your mistakes in listening. Do one listening test, right? All 4 sections, play the audio, don't stop the audio, don't pester with the audio, don't do anything like that. Just play one test, go on with it, right? At the end of the test, now check all 4 sections separately. Why separately? Because you should see where is the trouble actually. Where is the problem, right? Because if you are not aware of the problem, you will never be able to rectify the problem. Whenever a mechanic comes to fix the car or fix anything, right, he first identifies the problem. So problem identification is very, very important, and you will do it section by section. Now, for example, you did section 1. Part 1 actually in IELTS listening, now they call it. So after doing part 1, you should see how many answers are actually correct. Okay, that's important. And if, for example, 7 to 8 answers are correct, as an average 8, 9 answers are correct, so you should be satisfied with your part 1 actually. Okay, because right, again we got some traffic wardens. So this is how you can deal with part 1. Now, once you are done with part 1 and you identify that, okay, I get only 5 to 6 correct answers in part 1, most definitely you need to work out. Because I tell you, if you are basic level student, or I would say if you are you're beginner, right? Or you're not, you are at intermediate level, right? Lower intermediate level, then you should focus on part 1 and part 2, because the language skills they use in part 1 and 2, they are not advanced language skills. Exactly, in part 1 they only see whether you can identify or catch up a word from the audio or not. And obviously then there is finding the right information from the wrong information and all that. Okay, so you should, go on and focus part 1 and part 2 mainly, and try your level best to get at least 17 to 18 correct answers in part 1. I tell you guys, for basic level students, part 3 and part 4, it's all about fluke, as in Punjabi, Urdu, Hindi we call tukka. So you can do tukkas, because there you need advanced language skills, and in order to develop those language skills, it might take some time. So mainly your focus should be part 1 and part 2, and try your level best, like die hard efforts to achieve 20 out of 20 in part 1 and part 2. Once you do that, magic will happen. What is magic? Then in part 3 and 4, even you get 8 to 10 correct answers, overall you will be able to achieve very good bench score, right? So if you are weak, focus part 1 and part 2. If, for example, if you need only 5 band in IELTS, just 5 band, just focus part 1 10 by 10, and part 2 at least there should be 7-8 correct answers, and 3 and 4 you can do fluke stuff, that's what we call tukka, and still you can get better bench score there, right? So these are some of the techniques. And if you're looking for 8777, then most definitely your target should be 8 band in listening, and for that you need at least 35 correct answers. Okay, with 35 correct answers you're going to get 8 band. With 39 correct answers you get 9 band. So with 35 correct answers, there is no room for mistake in part 1 and 2, not at all. In part 3, you can afford 1 or 2 mistakes, especially if there is multiple choice questions and the questions options are long and you don't catch up and all that. So just minimum 1 and maximum 2 mistakes. And part 4 should be flawless as well. I would advise you to make part 4 flawless as well. Why? Because part 4 is mainly and mostly one word only, right? And there are blanks type of questions. So if you try to make your part 4 flawless, maximum 1 mistake, then achieving 8777 is very, very easy. Now, for example, you are looking for 8777 band in IELTS, 8 in listening, and in part 1 you have only 7 correct answers. That means you will not qualify for 8777. Those who qualify for 8777, that is on the basis of their language skills, not on the basis of their desire to achieve 8 band. Okay, so be realistic. I refuse many students who come to me with 8777. When I test their English, I realize they cannot get 8777, and then I tell them, they get angry with me. What sort of teacher are you? You are demotivating us, you are discouraging us. But I teach them, or I tell them something which otherwise they learn after spending thousands of rupees and all that. I know that as well. Okay, so this is what you guys need to see very, very seriously and very, very clearly. This is all important for you. IELTS listening, whatever your target band is, there are 4 levels, and you should start and go according to that level. And if you're looking for a certain band score, so hit that certain level and you will be able to get your desired band in IELTS. All the best, guys. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.